Hey all, it's Fox. When people take DMT, they often report something extraordinary. Not just vivid visuals or intense emotional experiences, but the feeling of encountering otherworldly beings. These entities, often described as intelligent, autonomous, and hyperdimensional, exist in a strange, colorful, and fractal-like realm. But who are these beings? Are they simple products of the mind on psychedelics, or do they represent something more profound? Today, we're going to talk about DMT entities, the beings that appear in the minds of those who experience DMT's powerful effect. Through personal testimonies, scientific theories, and philosophical musings, we'll explore what these encounters mean and what they suggest about the nature of reality. But before we do, I would like to give a special shout out to user GrayTroll1632 for suggesting this topic to explore. There's a part of me that is convinced Gray is an alien from another dimension, sent here to cheer me on, but that's fodder for another video. So what is DMT, or N-dimethyltryptamine? It's a naturally occurring psychedelic compound found in plants like the ayahuasca vine, in the human brain, and in various animals. Its intense effects are typically experienced when smoked, leading to an almost instantaneous onset of a powerful immersive trip that lasts for a relatively short period, usually around 15 to 30 minutes. When someone consumes DMT, it interacts with the brain serotonin receptors, particularly the 5-HT2A receptor, altering perception, mood, and consciousness. This creates a transcendental experience during which users report vivid imagery, intense emotional states, and most significantly, contact with entities. For many DMT users, the most remarkable part of the experience is the interaction with sentient beings. These beings are described in a multitude of ways, but there are a few common themes that emerge across countless testimonies. The entities may appear in the form of mysterious creatures, beings of light, or even intelligent machines, and they often communicate telepathically, bypassing words entirely. The experience of meeting an entity is often described as profound and life-changing. Some individuals feel as though they've met an ancient and wise guide, while others describe encounters that are strange, alien, and occasionally even frightening. But what are these entities? Are they simply projections of the mind, or could they be something else entirely? While the specifics vary, certain types of entities tend to show up repeatedly across experiences. 1. The Machine Elves. The most famous and widely recognized DMT entities are the Machine Elves, a term coined by the late Terence McKenna. McKenna described them as self-transforming hyperdimensional beings, playful, whimsical creatures who seem to live in a geometrically complex world. These beings often appear as colorful, shape-shifting figures, sometimes resembling elves or fairies, and they tend to communicate through telepathy, conveying ideas instantly rather than speaking words. McKenna suggested that they were not just figments of the imagination, but actual entities that inhabit another dimension, and that DMT allows us to glimpse into their world. Some DMT users report encountering alien-like beings, often with otherworldly features that seem to transcend human understanding. These entities might have large eyes, elongated bodies, or appear as amorphous, non-human figures. The beings may seem distant, but the encounters often feel profound. The common thread among these experiences is the sense that these beings are not of Earth, giving rise to the idea that DMT might somehow open a gateway to contact extraterrestrial intelligence. Many users describe meeting divine or godlike entities, often characterized by immense power, wisdom, or compassion. These figures are frequently described as nurturing and all-knowing, exuding an overwhelming sense of love or authority. In these experiences, some feel as though they are in the presence of a high power, or even a universal consciousness that transcends human understanding. Others report interacting with geometric beings or abstract forms that exist in non-physical space. These entities can be described as shifting, transforming shapes or patterns, often combining biological and mechanical elements. These forms appear to be intelligent and sometimes communicate in ways that feel otherworldly. Some individuals believe that the entities they encounter are not from this world, but rather from an alternate dimension. These entities are often described as existing outside of normal human perception, and their interactions with humans are seen as glimpses into a world beyond the veil of physical reality. These beings are sometimes seen as gatekeepers to a hidden cosmic dimension, showing those who interact with them a broader scope of existence. The experience of encountering DMT entities raises the question, what are they? There are several theories that attempt to explain the phenomenon, each offering a different perspective on the nature of reality and consciousness. 1. The psychological explanation. One of the most commonly accepted explanations is that DMT entities are projections of the subconscious mind. Under the influence of DMT, the brain's default modes of perception are temporarily disrupted, allowing unconscious thoughts, archetypes, and memories to surface. These entities could be seen as manifestations of the mind, reflecting internal psychological and emotional states. Carl Jung's theory of archetypes suggests that certain universal symbols or figures such as gods, monsters, or animals exist within the collective unconscious of all humans. DMT could tap into the unconscious layer, revealing archetypal images in the form of entities. Number 2. The biological explanation. Another theory suggests that DMT's effects are purely biological, driven by neurochemical processes. When DMT is ingested, it alters brain activity in ways that can result in vivid hallucinations. Some scientists suggest that the entities are neural noise or random brain activity that takes on a form that the mind can comprehend. These beings could be thought of as cognitive artifacts created by the brain as it processes the overwhelming flood of information during a DMT trip. Number 3. Interdimensional hypothesis. Some proponents of the interdimensional theory suggest that DMT doesn't just alter the mind, but allows the consciousness to tap into other dimensions. In this view, the entities are not creations of the mind, but real beings that inhabit a dimension outside of normal human perception. DMT acts as a gateway, allowing the mind to interact with these beings. This idea aligns with Terence McKenna's belief that DMT provides access to a hyperdimensional reality. Number 4. Simulation theory. Another intriguing theory ties DMT entities to the concept of simulation theory, the idea that our reality might be a simulation. According to this theory, the entities encountered during DMT trips might be non-player characters or NPCs within the simulated reality, suggesting that DMT is a way of accessing the code that runs our perceived universe. This theory opens up fascinating possibilities, implying that the boundaries between the physical and digital worlds may not be as clear-cut as we think. Number 5. Spiritual and mystical explanation. Some argue that the entities encountered on DMT are not psychological artifacts, genuine spiritual beings. These could range from spiritual guides to ancient intelligences that reside in other planes of existence. This theory aligns with many shamanic traditions where plant medicines like ayahuasca are used to facilitate communication with spirits, ancestors, or deities. So why do they matter? The question of what these entities represent goes beyond the realm of psychedelic exploration. DMT encounters challenge our understanding of consciousness, reality, and the nature of existence itself. If DMT allows us to encounter beings from other dimensions, it might suggest that our consciousness is capable of accessing realms beyond the physical world. These experiences raise profound questions. Are these entities products of our minds, or are they independent intelligences? Does the human mind have the capacity to perceive hidden layers of reality, or are we interacting with real sentient beings from elsewhere? The mystery of DMT entities may never be fully understood. Whether they are projections of the mind, visitors from other dimensions, or real spiritual beings, these encounters force us to confront the limits of our perception. They suggest that consciousness is far more complex than what we have been led to believe, and that reality might be far stranger than we ever imagined. As more people explore the hidden worlds of DMT, the questions will continue to grow. For now, the entities remain elusive, existing in the spaces between science, spirituality, and the unknown, waiting for those brave enough to step into their world.